Greetings, family, and welcome to Culture as Medicine. My name is Ade Tutu Amushan, and today we're diving into two incredibly profound concepts: divine femininity and divine masculinity. Both represent more than just gender. They are like small descriptors, if you will, of a universal force that lives deep within each of us. It shapes how we show up in the world, it shapes our worldview, it shapes how we move and shake around, in our lives. Divine femininity and divine masculinity are not about biological gender. They actually refer to two complementary energies that exist within each of us. But to benefit from them, it's our job to balance them, right? That's to get the full benefit. We have to balance it. So, family, nothing exists but energy. Energy is spiritual. Spirit produces our physical or our material experiences. Think of them as the yin and the yang of the universe, the balance, the interconnectedness, and the quality of power. Think about divine femininity as it embodies qualities like intuition, compassion, creativity, and nurturing. It's the energy flow, right? The receptivity and the connection to source energy and to one another, our connection to each other. And when we're tapped into our divine feminine, we're able to embrace stillness, access our ancestral power, tap into our Akashic records, interact with um, the soul realms, our cosmic family, our galactic family. Divine feminine energy allows us to create from the heart. In the heart, we're able to align to source power, the power of oneness, like the circle that is unbroken. Think of the moon, the gentle yet powerful, illuminating the night with quiet strength and power. The understanding of these concepts have reached its pivotal point, right, in this realm. So now we have to pivot. Um, we've entered like this age where the divine feminine has returned to like a leadership, a ruling energy, right? It's remember, family, everything began in matriarchy, and it spiraled into energetic. This it spiraled into this patriarchy. There are stories of Oshun, of all the Orisha, holding back um, their recognition of Oshun and what she brings to the table, and how she, they conspired against her to just leave her out of everything, right? So when Olodumare came, um, she hurried up, right? Before he gathered everybody together, she ran up and told Olodumare, listen, they left me out of everything. They're disrespecting me. They don't honor my power. And Olodumare said, that is not good, Oshun. It's wrong of them to do this to you because there is nothing that they can do without you. You are in everything. How foolish of them to think that they can leave you out, Oshun, right? That's just one of the stories. And I'm sure it's associated with an Odu, but I can't think of the Odu at this time. But I mark that as a time where culturally it's being explained, this sort of handoff or this shunning of this matriarchal or this feminine power, right? Because they all conspired against her. They said she needed to be left out. There's nothing they wanted to do, right? So to me, it speaks to this time where there was this handing off, if you will, energetically into patriarchy, where the power was like a power shift, right? So, because if you go back to some of the old Ialo days and how they were married and they set in seats as queens, but they were heading up commerce. They were heading up, villages and trade and all sorts of things that built empires, right? Back in the 1800s, probably back in the 1700s, if you really, because the 1800s was this fall into patriarchy. I say fall into patriarchy, but I think that we needed to experience the power of action, right? Because during these times, we had war, but I think these were like in the 1800s when, there was a call for this sort of um, these scenarios that handed off um, the matriarchy into patriarchy, right? Because it became about strength. I'm taking yours. I'm finna bully this. I'm coming in here and I'm getting ready to take your land. I'm finna take your whole existence away, right? I'm getting ready to set you back and set me forward. That type of thing was happening. Empires were folding. They were packing up and going home. We had all types of things happening. But before then, right, there was this sort of um, intermingling that took up from trade. Moving to different places to do trading. Right? If you ever been to the marketplace, it is a wild, wild, wild situation, right? In Nigeria. If you when you go to any marketplace, probably anywhere in Africa, especially in Nigeria, um, it's a different situation, right? You could see this honing in of this. You could see divine femininity and divine masculinity working itself together, right? They are hitting you with all kinds of. You could have this. You have to bargain, right, to not be taken fast, right? But it's this kind of synergy of these two moving together to create this situation of trade and commerce. So I think that that trade off that happened, right, into this patriarchy was to show us how to take action now. It's like the stiff blade of Ogun. I'm chopping. Period. No excuses. I don't even want to hear anything because this, and this doesn't matter because the outcome is this, right? Some would say that is so aggressive and so it's too much, right? It's too much power. Or Shosi, right? That divine timing, that divine synchronicity, that target, right? That he's got that he let go, bam, that bow, it hits the target, right? It's divine time and divine synchronicity. We needed to understand those concepts and how to come into concert with them, right? So now that we reach the pause on matriarchy. We fill up on matriarchy and all of that. Now we are full up on patriarchy. And so now that we've reached this sort of complete cycles with the two, it is now time for us to bring them together. We have to bring them together, beloveds. We have to learn how to balance them now. Because one thing we know, knowledge without wisdom is very, very dangerous. Just look at our current state of being. Everybody, no, 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 no. They have all this knowledge, but it's not applied, right? It's not applied. That's something you have to go within to do, right? How do I apply what it is that I've learned. So those are our orders right now. Those are our instructions right now. This is how we create our next chapter, beloveds. The divine feminine, it teaches us to trust our inner wisdom, to know how to honor our emotions. It teaches us how to manifest meaningful relationships. Now everybody have a relationship with their device, right? Nobody wants to really interact, right? But on the other hand, divine masculinity represents action, structure, logic, leadership. It's the energy of doing and protecting. This energy, it empowers us to set goals, to take decisive actions, and to create order in our lives, right? We need it. Picture the sun. It's radiant, it's steady, it's unwavering, right? The divine masculine, it encourages us to be courageous. It encourages us to hold space for others and build with purpose. Now I want you to switch the image of the sun to represent divine femininity and the moon to represent divine masculinity. And that's where we are, right? It's this sort of the sun. Think about it. It's powerful. It's an incubator. It nurtures crops. It heals us. It holds spaces for others to thrive and get things done, right? That's what you see Mama do right now. The illusion is in the image, beloveds, which is why we have to embrace both energies to get the holistic properties, right? Each energy provides an honoring of both. We are able to lead ourselves to truth when we balance these energies. We're able to eliminate the toxic influence of others who are just as mixed up and confused as the rest of the world, but will stand up and pretend to be the light that can guide you to your greatest self, right? Beloveds, we are all responsible for our own character, our own righteousness, our own love for ourselves. Because how we view ourselves, it actually shows up in our experiences, right? And directly affects our passion for protecting righteousness, not only for ourselves, but also our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, our children, for real, right? So, how do we balance these two energies? I'm happy you asked. To embrace divine femininity, you must embrace mindfulness. Every day, you have to check in with yourself, observe how you feel. Our conscious mind, it only connects with our subconscious mind when we tell it to otherwise, like we don't know what story we're telling ourselves because we never check in to check the validity of the story to see if it's still true current day. We have to engage in creativity because this allows us to engage with our inner child so that we can actually get to know our authentic self. We know what we want, we know what we don't want, right? When we checking in, when we're spending time in nature, right? This is another way to connect with divine feminine energy because it serves as a reminder that everything has its place and its divine order, right? It's always present, divine order, which this reduces our fear because when we are fearless, we can discover more. We can tap into our divine masculine power and our divine feminine power. It helps us to set goals, right? Balancing these two on how it helps us to build our self confidence. We have to be intentional. So think about what we desire and then take action. We increase our divine masculine energy when we cultivate discipline and structure in our daily lives. And you can see both honoring both the divine feminine and masculine. You can see that you'll discover like a deeper sense of yourself. when you're balancing these in your life, these energies in your life. So you have to remember harmony is the key, right? Energies are these two energies, they are not in competition. They are partners in the journey to your wholeness. So thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to share and subscribe. And let me know